virtual teacher of mathematics. I am Mwalimu Bueno Evans. Anybody who wants to contact me can get me on 0714-890-190. In this first session, I want us to go through one of the topics in Form 1, fractions. That's what I want us to go through. There are many ways of looking at fractions, but one of the definitions we use at secondary school level is a fraction is any number that can be expressed in the form of x over y, where x and y are integers. Any number that can be expressed in the form of x and y, where x and y are integers. What does it mean? As you may have known from primary knowledge, that a fraction has got two parts. We have a numerator and we have a denominator. Numerator and a denominator. Sometimes we may have one that has a whole number. That brings me straight away to sample fractions and examples of fractions. If we have a number 2 over 3, it is therefore obvious that 2 is the numerator and 3 is the denominator. This is a kind of a fraction. You may also have a number like 10 over 5. This may also be a form of a fraction where 10 is the numerator and 5 is the denominator. We can also have 13 over 6. In this case, we have 13 as the numerator and 6 as the denominator. Finally, suppose maybe I have 2 over 9. Again, 2 becomes the numerator and 9 becomes the denominator. Types of fractions. There are 3 major categories or groupings of fractions. 1, a fraction is considered to be proper if the numerator is less than the denominator. In this set that I have, therefore, 2 over 3 is a proper fraction, and 2 over 9 is also a proper fraction. That's the first category, proper fractions, where the numerator happens to be less than the denominator. Category 2, improper fraction. A fraction is considered to be improper if the numerator is more or greater than the denominator. For example, 10 over 5. As you can see, 10 is greater than 5. Therefore, this is an example of an improper fraction. Another one is 13 over 6. Again, it is very clear that in 13 over 6, 13 is greater than 6. For that case, this is also another example of an improper fraction. These fractions, if we take 13 over 6, literally it means 13 divided by 6. This one will give us 2 and 1 over 6. There is a whole number part, there is a numerator, there is a denominator. This is an example of a mixed fraction. On the other hand, if we had maybe 9 over 5, this one is going to give us 1 and 4 over 5. We have the whole number part, we have the numerator and the denominator. So this is another example of a mixed fraction. Finally, if I give you maybe 10 over 3, this one is going to give us 3 and 1 over 3. Again, you can see we have a whole number part, numerator and denominator. So those are the 3 major categories of fraction. We said number 1, we have a proper fraction where the numerator is less than the denominator. Number 2, we have improper fraction where the denominator happens to be less than the numerator. And finally, we have a mixed fraction where we have a whole number part and numerator as well as a denominator. Operations on fractions. In mathematics, anytime you hear about operations, we are talking about how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply, and how to divide. How to add, how to subtract, how to multiply, as well as how to divide. I want to take you through some very interesting ways of doing operations on fraction. So let us have a simple examples. We will begin with addition. I may give you 1/3 plus 2/5. I am aware that from primary knowledge what you have known is the LCM method. However, I want to introduce some new things and even easier way of adding fractions. There is what I call the direct multiplication method. Direct multiplication method. How does it work? This is how my method works. You begin by multiplying the denominators. So, if I have 1/3 plus 2/5, all I need to do is to multiply 3 times 5. That will give me 15. After that, I do cross multiplication. That is 5 times 1 will give me 5. And then 3 times 2 will give me 6. At the end of the day, I have 11/15. And that is all. That's why I call it direct. I'll give example 2. If I'm given really 3/7 plus 6/8, this one I just say 7 times 8, that will give me 56. Next, I'll have 8 times 3, that will give me 24, plus 7 times 6, that will give me 42. So at the end of the day, what I have with me is 66/56. This is an improper fraction. We are allowed to simplify further. So that one is going to give me 1/10/56. We can still divide further, and finally I'm going to have 1/5/28. This method works even with subtraction. If I'm given 4/5 minus 1/3, all I need to do is to multiply 5 times 3. What does that give me? 15. Then you must begin with the first fraction, so I'll say 3 times 4, that will give me 12. Then 5 times 1, that will give me 5. At the end of the day, what do I have? 7/15. Very simple and direct. If I'm given maybe 7/8, take away 2/9, I'll do the same. What do I have? I have this one as 8 times 9, will give me 72. Then I'll say 9 times 7, will give me 63. Take away 8 times 2, that will give me 16. So at the end of the day, what am I supposed to have? I believe this one will give me 47/42. That is what I call the direct multiplication method. The second method after direct multiplication method is what I call equivalent fraction method. Equivalent fractions method. This one works when you discover that one denominator is a multiple of the other. And here we try to indicate equivalent fractions method. When do I use it? When I discover that one denominator is a multiple of the other. For example, if you give me 2 over 3 plus maybe 4 over 9. If you look at this, you will discover that 3 is a factor of 9. In other words, 9 is a multiple of 3. So the only thing I need to ask myself is, what is 9 divided by 3? I will get the answer is 3. So what do? I will multiply everything in the first fraction by 3. In other words, I am allowed to write this one as 2 times 3 will be 6, 3 times 3 will be 9, plus 4 over 9, and that will give me 10 over 9, which equals to 1 and 1 over 9. Equivalent fraction method. Let me give you example 2. You use it anytime you discover that one denominator is actually a multiple of the other. Maybe you are given 8 over 15 plus 2 over 5. When I look at this, I discover that 15 is actually a multiple of 5. So the only thing I need to ask myself, what is 15 divided by 5? The answer is 3. So I will multiply everything, both the numerator and denominator of the second fraction by 3. So what will I write? 8 over 15 plus times 3 will be 6, times 3 will be what? 15. So that gives me 8 plus 6, that will be 14 over 15. It also works whether you are taking away. Maybe now you have 7 over 12 minus maybe even 2 over 12 or maybe 2 over 3. Let us see what will happen. 7 over 12 minus 2 over 3. I discover that 12 is a multiple of 3. So all I need to ask myself is, what is 12 divided by 3? The answer is 4. For that reason, I'll multiply both the numerator and denominator by 4. So what does that give me? 7 over 12 minus times 4 will be 8 times 4 will be 12. So you know this one will give me negative 1 over 12 as my final answer. The final example I want to give you the same. Maybe now I ask you, what is 15 over 24 minus maybe even 3 over 8? Again, when I check, I discover that 24 happens to be a multiple of 8. So what do? I say 24 divided by 8. My answer is 3. That means I'll multiply everything in the second fraction by 3, both the numerator and denominator. Then I now have 15 over 24 minus times 3 will be 9, times 3 will be 24. At the end of the day, I have, is it 6 or 16? 15 minus 9 will be 6 over 24, which I can further simplify to be 1 over what? Over 4. This method is very useful when dealing with a whole number and a fraction. This is an area that sometimes trouble learners. Maybe you've been given a very simple thing, like what is 2 minus maybe 4 over 9. Many learners normally are not able to do this. If you want to do this, all you need to do is have it as 2 over 1 minus 4 over 9. It is obvious that 1 is a factor of any number. For that reason, I'll multiply up and down by 9. So what does that give me? It will give me 18 over 9 minus 4 over 9. And that will now be able to give me what? 14 over 9, which is 1 and 5 over 9. This is an area that has really troubled students. You are given what is 3 plus 2 over 7. To some people it may be difficult, so the easiest way is to have it as 3 over 1 plus 2 over 7. Given that 1 is a multiple of 7, multiply the first one by 7. So you will now have it as times 7, it will be 21 over 7 minus 2 over 7. That one will give you 19 over 7. Finally, simplify to have what? To have 2 and 5 over 7. That is what I call the equivalent fractions method. Addition of fraction. This is rather direct. There is no much trouble in this. I'll give only 3 examples. 3 over 5 times 2 over 9. Straight away, you check whether there are any numerators and denominators that can cancel each other. So we'll have 3 ones, 3 times. At the end of the day, we'll have our 2 over 15. Very simple and direct. If you have 4 over 11, maybe times 33 over 48. You just check the multiples. 11 will go once, 11 3 times, 4 once, 4, 12 times 4, 12 times. So that will be able to give us 3 over 12, which is 1 over 4. The same will happen when you have mixed fractions. If you have 2 and 1 over 3, maybe times 3 and 1 over 9. So what are you supposed to have? You will have 2 times 3, 6 plus 1 will be 7 over 3 times 28 over 9. In this case, I do not see numbers that will cancel up and down. You will have to have 7 times 28. And that will give us what? Let me also show you another trick. I like playing with mathematics. The number 7 times 28, you can work it as 7 times 20 plus 8. Because 28 happens to be 20 plus 8. So that one will give you 140 plus 56. At the end of the day, you have what? 196 over 27. You can then simplify appropriately. Final example in multiplication. Maybe you have 3 and 2 over 9 again. Maybe times 81 over, say, 14. So what do? You are going to have it is 9 times 3, 27 plus 2. That will give us 29 over 9 times 81 over 14. 9 ones, 9 times. So you're going to have 29 times 9 over 14. I've already shown you that the upper one you can have it as 20 plus 9 times 9 over 14. So this one will give us what? 180 plus 71 over 14. That one will give us 261 over 14. Then you can proceed to simplify accordingly. So multiplication of fractions is very direct. It's equally simple. It's just equivalent to multiplication. 4 over 5 divided by maybe 2 over 15. The simple method we normally use is to get the reciprocal of the second fraction. So that now we have it as 4 over 5 times 15 over 2. 5 ones, 5 3 times. 2 ones, 2 times. At the end of the day, you have 2 times 3 over 1 times 1, which gives us 6 over 1, which equals to 6. Suppose I have 10 over 11 divided by, let us say, 13 over maybe 55. We'll have it as 10 over 11 times 55 over 30. 11 ones, 11 5 times, 10 ones, 10 3 times. That will give us 5 over 3. This one gives us 1 and 2 over 3. So multiplication and addition of fraction should not give us trouble at any particular time. I want us to look at sample questions that you will be given involving fractions. These questions normally happens to be, in most cases, the number 1 of paper 1 in mathematics. I'll give you a sample. You will be told to evaluate two and a quarter plus 3 over 5, or 2 and 2 over 5. Everything over 1 and 7 over 10. These are typical questions. Evaluate. In secondary maths, this is what 3 marks. It is important for you to know how do we mark, what does the marker look for when they give you a question like this. Ironically, many learners who are bright normally miss this. I do not know why. But this is the procedure. If you want to be safe, number 1, convert everything into either proper or improper fractions. Do not have mixed fractions if you want to succeed. That would mean when I come to the numerator, I'll have this as 9 over 4 instead of 2 and a quarter plus 3 over 5, or the other one will be 12 over 5 numerator, denominator, and then finally I'll have 17 over 10 in the denominator. That should be your first step. It may not give you a mark, but it clears the way for you. After that, remember the roots of bodies. In this case, we will begin with off. So what do? I will have the numerator. I advise that work the numerator first, follow it with the denominator, and then combine. Do not make a mistake of trying to cancel up and down. That is what has made many students miss it. It's always advisable to work the numerator separately, denominator separately, and then finally combine. If you do not do that, you are likely to make a necessary mistake. For that reason, my numerator now will be 9 over 4 plus, in bracket, 3 over 5, of means multiply, 12 over 5. So what does that give me? 9 over 4 plus 36 over 25. As we had indicated, there are many ways of doing this sum. Allow me to go back to my direct multiplication method, in which case I just multiply 4 times 25 and get my 100. 25 times 9, 225. Then plus 36 times 4. I believe it will be 144. So at the end of the day, 4 plus 5 will be 9. 4 plus 2 will be 6. And then 1 plus 2 will be 3. Everything over 100. That happens to be my numerator. The marker is interested in this. That is what will give you the first mark. That is what you get it. Our denominator here is already worked on. So the only thing I now need to do is numerator over 100 divided by the denominator. Our denominator is 17 over 10. So this one gives me 369 over 100 times 10 over 17. I can see that 10 can go another 10. I'm wondering whether 369, 17 can go there. Because now what we have is 369 over 10 times 17. So this finally will give us 369 over 170, which I believe should give us 2, that is 340, and 29 over 170 as our final. Whoever is marking may give you another net for the mark, and finally you will get a total of 3 marks for that particular operation. Able to evaluate 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half times 1 over 13, or in bracket 1 over 2 plus 4 over 5. That is what we can given. Bottomless rules, we want to start with what is in the bracket. And it is important for you to be patient and do one thing at a time. So I'll write it as 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half times a third of, then in bracket, I will have my direct multiplication. It will be 10, that will be 5 plus 8. So I now have 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half times a third of 13 over 10. Following the same rule, I'll come with the off. So now what do I have? 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half times 13 over 30. Okay, example 2. Suppose you are given 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half times 1 over 13 of 1 over 2 plus 4 over 5. How do we go about it? We will begin with the bracket, bottomless rules. 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half times 1 over 13 of 10, that will be 5 plus 8. So I have 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half, 1 over 13, or 13 over 10. Next of 3 over 5 divided by 2 over 3 minus a half times of means multiply, that will give me finally 1 over 10. Thereafter I'll have to go to the division part of it. So we'll have 3 over 5 times 3 over 2 minus a half is 1 over 10. What do I have there? It will be 9 over 10 minus a half times 1 over 10. Multiplication. 9 over 10 minus 1 over 20. I want to use equivalent fraction now because I realized that 20 is a multiple of 10. I'll multiply up and down by 2. So that will give me 18 over 20 minus 1 over 20. And finally, what do I have? 17 over 20 as my final work. So that is how I will work that particular one. The final body mass question I want to work or evaluate is 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 divided by 1 over 2 or 1 over 3. We have 1 over 2 or 4 over 5 minus 3 over 4 plus 1 over 2. When I look at this one, I discover that all of them are proper fractions, so I will not struggle with them. But as I said, begin with the numerator first. Numerator is 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 divided by 1 over 2 of 2 over 3. Body mass matters of 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 divided by a half times. So that will give me 1 over 3. Division. Final example on body mass I want to give. 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 divided by 1 over 2 or 1 over 3. 1 over 2 or in the denominator 4 over 5, 3 over 4 plus 1 over 2. As I did mention, let us begin with the numerator before we go to the denominator. Do not mix them. 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 minus divided by, a half of means times 1 over 3. So that will give me 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 divided by 1 over 6. Division 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 times 6 over 1. That will give me 1 over 4 plus 6 over 5. I'm choosing again direct multiplication. If I have 1 over 4 plus 6 over 5, 20, 5 times 1, 4. So I'll have 29 over 20. At this level, do not struggle to simplify it because you still have the denominator to work on. So just leave it as 29 over 20. Let us go to the denominator. Denominator, we have 1 over 2, 4. Then in bracket, 4 over 5 minus 3 over 4 plus a half. When you now have the 3 of them, I now advise that you use the LCM. You look for the LCM, that will make your work easier. But still, within you can also choose to go for addition. I know this will trouble some of you. When you have only addition and subtraction, it may not really matter which order you follow. Whichever order you follow, it will work. And that is why I would advise that you just go straight away for the LCD and it will be able to sort you. So I'll be able to have it as a half of, in bracket, the LCD here, 20, I think so. So we have 20 divided by 5 times 4, 16, minus 15 plus 10. 16 minus 15 is 1. 1 plus 10 is 11. So now we have a half of, in bracket, 11 over 20. That means a half times 11 over 20. That gives us 11 over 14. The marker is looking for the numerator simplified, denominator simplified, and finally numerator divided by the denominator, we have it as 29 over 20, then divided by 11 over 40, 29 over 20 times 40 over 11. You can see why I told you do not need to struggle to simplify, because we can then cancel. At the end of the day, we have 58 over 11, which is going to be 5, 55, and 3 over 11 as our final value. That will give you the 3 marks that I decided with this particular. So generally, that is the general trend of going through the bottomless question. Just a summary, I did say that so long, I thought it was sample word problem. There's one question here. That 4/9 of my income goes for housekeeping. 4/9 of my income goes for housekeeping. 1/5 of the remainder, 1/5 of the remainder for education. A quarter of the balance for rent. A quarter of the balance is used on rent. And finally, this leaves me with 9,000 shillings. Left 9,000 shillings. So the question is, what is my income? Let me read it again. That 4/9 of my income goes for housekeeping. 1/5 of the remainder goes to education. A quarter of the balance is rent. I'm then left with 9,000 shillings. What is my income? Patience, step by step. This is how to go about it. Say 4/9. This one is housekeeping. What do we remain with? 9/9 minus 4/9. So that will leave us with 5/9 is what is remaining. That is the remainder that you're told. Then you're told 1/5 of the remainder. So what do? You say 1/5 times the remainder, which is 5/9. That gives you 1/9. 1/5 of the remainder goes for what? Education. Just go step by step. 4/9 was for housekeeping. So what remains? 5/9. A fifth of that remainder goes for education. That means 1/9 goes for education. The next instruction, a quarter of the balance. So what is this balance? For you to get the balance, you say 4/9 was used for housekeeping. Another 1/9 was used for education. A total of 5/9 used. What does that mean? That means the balance so far will be 9/9 minus 5/9 will be 4/9. Because I used 4/9 for housekeeping, I used 1/9 for education. So what is my balance? 9/9 minus 5/9. That is 4/9. Then I'm being told a quarter of that is used for rent. So what is the one used for rent? It will be a quarter times 4/9. Coincidentally, another 1/9 will be used for rent. Then you are told this leaves me with 9,000. Let us understand how much has been used so far. What has been used so far is 4/9 for housekeeping, 1/9 for education, and then another 1/9 for rent. Thank God all of them are the same denominator. That is 4 plus 1 plus 1. That is 6/9, which can also be given as what? 1/3. So, sorry, it's 2/3, not 1/3. It will be 2/3. 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 1, 6, 6/9. That will give us 2/3. That means so far we have used 2/3 of the salary or the income. What remains? 3/3 minus 2/3. So a third is now what is left. And is this a third that we are told to be 9,000? So how do you compute it from here? You say 1/3 of the total income equals to 9,000. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the fraction. So multiply by 3/1, multiply by 3/1. That will cancel out and it leaves you with the total being 9,000 times 3, which gives you 27,000 shillings. That happens to be the income at the end of the day. What problem in fraction is this? There is somebody here called Mr. Sudi. So the person is saying Mr. Sudi keeps turkeys and chicken. We have turkeys and chicken. What I love about mathematics is you just write down what you've been told. The number of turkeys exceed the number of chicken by 6. The number of turkeys exceed. The word exceed means more than. The number of turkeys exceed the number of chicken by 6. For that reason, I will give chicken to be X. Because turkeys are more, this one will be X plus 6. You must know how to manipulate that algebra. Mr. Sudi keeps turkeys and chicken. The number of turkeys exceeds the number of chicken by 6. During an outbreak of a disease, a quarter of the chicken. So that would mean a quarter of X. And a third of the turkeys. That will be 1/3 into X plus 6. Let me read it again because it is important for you to now perform. Mr. Sudi keeps turkeys and chicken. The number of turkeys exceeds the number of chicken by 6. That is why if I choose chicken to be X, then turkeys must be X plus 6. Exceeds means more than. During an outbreak of a disease, a quarter of the chickens, a quarter eggs, and a third of the turkeys, a third into X plus 6, died. If he lost a total of 30 birds, what does the word total mean? Addition again. If he lost a total of 30 birds, how many did he have? If he lost a total of 30, so how do we go about it? Just this part. It will be a third of X plus, this a third must also multiply 6, a third of 6 will be 2, plus a quarter of X will give you 30. That's how to go about it. So I'll have a third X plus a quarter X, a third X plus a quarter X plus 2 equals to 30. We have 12 direct multiplication, that will be 4 plus 3. So we have 7 over 12x plus 2 to give us 30. Let me write that again. 7 over 12x plus 2 to give us 30. Many students tell me that it will be 7 over 12x equals to 30 minus 2. Then when I ask them, why are you taking away? Then they tell me when 2 crosses the equal sign. There is nothing like that. What we do is what we call as the balancing of the equation. So the correct mathematical statement is, we are supposed to take away 2 from both sides. We don't say when it crosses the equal sign, what happens at the equal sign. That is not mathematical. So the correct thing is 7 over 12x plus 2 minus 2 should give you 30 minus 2. So that at the end of the day, 7x over 12 should give us 28. As I did mention, the best way to do for you to get x is to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the fraction. So if you multiply this side by 12 over 7, you must also multiply this side by 12 over 7. That will cancel out, then you end up with x being equal to 48. And that becomes our final operation. Thank you for today. We have gone through fractions. Take time to do a number of questions. In case you have any queries or explanation or anything that is not clear, please use the number I gave before to ask when I'm available. Thank you so much for today.